Hi there, I'm Michelle Bernard. Welcome back. We are journaling and logging our wellness aims. We are transforming our body. We are transforming our minds. We are using Paper Coach, which I wrote for you to be able to look at your aims for your body, your aims for your life, your aims for your mental wellness for 6 weeks. You also know that in Paper Coach, the last portion, you have 40 pages or 40 journaling prompts, which I call conversation starters. And that's for a continuation of looking within and self-exploration. Week 6, you made it. I am so proud of you. And I know almost for a fact that you feel different, that you are moving through your life differently, that you have your mind really focused and pointed toward the things you say you want, the things you say you're going to become. You are implementing a lifestyle to be able to live your aims for your body and your mind and your life in real life. Please, if you have not already, get your Paper Coach and start with videos 1, 2, 3, which are me going through week 1 of Paper Coach. And then video 4 is week 4, and video 5 is week 5, and today's video 6, which is, week 6. Let's get started. You have your pen, you're ready to go. I'm gonna walk you through this. We're gonna journal together, and then I'm gonna leave you to take off and transform. So please, we go to week 6, you're gonna put the date. So you see that, put the date. We do this every time we come together, and you see that next section, which is this week, my meaningful feeling goals are. You circle 3, meaningful feeling goals. All of the things that I've written in Paper Coach, I've also fleshed out fully, deeply in Lean, Happy, Healthy You, my book, 8 Healthy Habits for Her Happy Life. I have really fleshed out, and you can get this book, and you can also watch the 11 videos of me reading it to you and also talking while I'm reading. Our meaningful feeling goals. These are important because they set us up as the bookend for the beginning of the week. And you know that the bookend at the end of the week are progress points. So 3 meaningful feelings for this week. Go ahead and circle your 3. Strong. Energized. Now, it says add your own, and I'm going to say imaginative. I'm adding one. Notice at the bottom, it says date from line 2. That means the week, put the first day that you're starting Paper Coach week 6, but the first day and the 7th day. And I always put that in just in case you start 3 days later or skip a week by accident, so that you know when this week began. I wrote Paper Coach so that you can be accountable. It is a coach. It is your coach. I train people like this in person. When I teach classes, when I train my clients, I hold them accountable to certain goals, aims, times. What I teach in my books, all of my books and live, is that you want everything organized, ordered. You do not want random. You want to know what is what, not I think, maybe I did. Oh, I ate healthy this week. But if you track it, you can see, well, I actually didn't. I want it all written so that you can see yourself for real, not guess, not throw marbles into the air, let them land and fumble around. Oh, I think I did. No, I want you to know. Let's go to the next page. It's our 3 wellness aims, 3 life work aims for the week. We've been doing this now for 5 weeks. You're a pro. So go ahead and write your 3 wellness aims and, yes, your 3 life work aims. One of my 3 wellness aims for this week is 300 push-ups, and I do 100 in a workout. Not in a row. I do sets of maybe 20, but 300 total for the week. And one of my life work aims, it's always close to this. I like to read 90 minutes, 5 days a week. Read for 90 minutes. That's a life work aim because I write, so I read. It's part of writing. And to reduce online spending to $20 a week. Just thought of that. See how specific I was about that? I reduce it to $20 a week, not including food. Let's go to the next page. If you haven't finished your 3 aims for wellness, your 3 aims for life work, then come back. I'm walking you through this. We're doing this together. And our first conversation starter for week 6 is, who are you supporting to reach their well-being aims and visions? Describe with details. What's really important when we set out to accomplish something is that if we're lending a hand to another for that same accomplishment, because when 2 are going along in a path, the energetic vibration is strong. When you can resonate with someone who has got a similar mindset or a similar mission, you move faster, or more efficiently, let's just say, or with with less emotional effort. Hope that makes sense. With less emotional effort. And that's a deep way of saying you're more motivated. So if you support someone else, it will help your mission. Who are you supporting? There's a perhaps here that there's no one in your life you're supporting in this mission. So who can you support? Because this is really important. Who can you support? And how? We're going to move on. Once again, please come back and finish what you started writing. The next page is how will you respond? So respond is this idea of responding means that ahead of time in your life, you want to know how you will respond to a situation that could tempt you or throw you off your path. You want to know ahead of time a response that you can go to that is very clear and empowering and pointed toward who you really want to become. Because you can be caught off guard. And I teach that a lot. Your responsibility is to your mission. So how would you respond? I teach that a lot in this book. We will encounter OPOs and OPAs along the way on our journey, on our path, on our mission. So OPOs, other people's opinions, OPAs, other people's agendas. How will you respond to OPOs and OPAs? Know ahead of time so you don't get emotionally stuck. Your responsibility. Committed or ambivalent? I think I want it. I think I can. Or are you committed? When challenging conversations come up, internal, that means your own, and external challenges, how will you respond? What will you say? What will you do? Use these conversation starters to explore and rehearse responses that demonstrate your commitment to your well-being lifestyle. First one at the bottom. If someone challenges my well-being habits, I'll tell them. Your well-being habits are to journal, to document your workouts, to think about how you're eating and document it in your logs, to go to sleep at a certain time, wake up at a certain time. It's all written about in these 8 habits in this book. To do 4 to 6 workouts per week. These are your habits. To have a positive outlook on your body, to speak to your body like you love it. When someone challenges it, I'll tell them. And I love the one when someone says they want to do something with you, they want to hang out with you at a certain time, perhaps after work at 5 o'clock, and you say, well, I have a spinning class at 5:30, I can meet you at 7, and they challenge it. Haven't you worked out enough this week? I mean, why do you work out so much? Or what's going to happen when you stop working out? You're just going to gain the weight back. Have you ever thought about that? These are challenges that will come up. How will you respond to them? In this case that I just gave you, this scenario, I always tell people my workouts are all scheduled, so I can't meet you till 7. I don't go into a diatribe. I don't explain anything. It's all scheduled, so I can't meet you until maybe 6:45, 7. I don't open that conversation up. One of the problems with opening that conversation up is if you're not really secure about these commitments that you've made, people can negotiate you out of them. So I don't open them up for conversation. It is, I can meet you I can probably get there at about 10 minutes to 7 or 7. Is that okay? I do not open it up. It's shut down. 5:30, 6:30, I'm not available, but I can get there at 7. Next one is when I have a busy week that threatens my workout schedule. I will. This happens to my clients sometimes, that they might have a busy week and have to cancel an appointment because there's an emergency with a child or something. How will you respond? And I tell my clients, I'm telling you this now, when you answer this question, you have to reschedule it, not mentally, physically. You take a book, your date book, and you have to write in the workout time. You've got your paper coach. What you can do is go into the workout page and write the date in there, but also in your date book or your phone, whatever gives you the alert of what's going on next. Reschedule like you would a meeting, because this is a meeting and you're trying to put this into a lifestyle rotation. It's not marbles in the air that are landing and you're fumbling all around. Reschedule that time. I'll let you look at that a little bit later. When someone compliments my progress toward my aim, I'll say, I put this question here because when we receive compliments about our progress, especially, I'm going to talk to you about when I was really trying to lose weight and I was overweight. Even when I looked in the mirror, I kept seeing my old body. My body was changing, and I would do these visualizations of, I would see the new body. I would just superimpose a new body on my body. But then when I was in real life, not in a mirror, in real life, and someone would say, oh, you've lost weight. Oh, are you working out? I go, yes, I am. But I would always think, yeah, but I'm still. I wouldn't be able to take the compliment. Even though I was doing this mental rehearsal in the mirror of seeing my body already changed, noticing how it was already changed, I couldn't accept the compliment because my mind had already layered in this script of what was wrong with me, what was out of shape, what was flawed. And that script kept playing when I'd get a compliment. So I practiced saying, thank you. That's it. Fewer words. Thank you. Thank you. Compliments come. I've practiced saying, oh, no. No, I didn't practice that. I practiced my new response. Thank you. We'll turn the page. I'm going to go through these quickly and let you return to them. Okay? So I'm not going to give you really time to talk about, I'm not going to give you time to write about these. I'm going to just talk about them and then turn to the next page and talk about them. I want you to spend time with this. This is why. How will you respond? More of this. If someone attempts to convince me to skip my workout, my scheduled workout, I'll tell them. We talked about that a little bit earlier. This is someone who's trying to negotiate me out of my commitment. I will tell them. Now, I'll tell you already what I said before. You really can't. You actually can't. I don't let people negotiate me away from my aim. I actually do not do that. So, the same kind of answer. I'll see you at 7. You want to meet at 7? That's the answer. They'll admire that about you. I promise in the end they will. If they really like you, they'll admire that about you. When I don't feel inspired to exercise, I'll tell myself, this is why we practice the post, which is in this book. And in this book, the post basically is you just look back over your 6 weeks. Look back over your 6 weeks. The post means that you're posting your desires, your aims, somewhere where you can see them all the time. Whenever we have our aims, our goals in front of us, it's easier to achieve them, easier than when you hide them away. So you always want to be able to see an example of what you're going for. If it's in words, if it's in images, which is really a really good thing. So I suggest that you place images of what you're aiming for in your wellness aims and your life work aims. Like find a few images and put them on your screen in small pictures. They can be in the little small pictures that you can blow up and just look at every once in a while, or put them in your phone so you can see them often. That's what I suggest. And there's a longer suggestion in this book. Next one at the bottom. When someone suggests I eat an item I've chosen not to eat, I'll tell them simply, no thank you. I want you to think about what you would actually say. I would say no thank you. In general, people sort of don't like lots of explanation about food choices. It sort of gets on people's nerves. If you explain, oh, I can't eat that, and I don't eat that, and I can't eat this, and I get just saying all of that gets on people's nerves, I found. So I don't say much except no thank you, or I'm going to have this. I try to just start talking about something else because it's no thank you, and we're moving on. This will be very, very good for you because the more you talk, it will show us, sometimes it can move you to a slight desperation in your speech. So just brief, move on. I want you to think about your own answer though. That's just what I suggest as a trainer. When others suggest I eat a larger portion than I've chosen, I tell them same sort of answer, and I would write this out in the way that I'd really feel it. I'd write in this block what has happened before to me, maybe how I didn't resolve it the way I'd like to. I would do it differently this time. This is how I would do it. And I really just told you briefly, extremely concise and extremely exact. No thank you. That's both. Exact. Next page. So far, my wellness journey has been, and I want you to write about it, and you might even add to another page more about how this 6-week paper coach has been for you. I was surprised to find out that. What were you surprised to learn about yourself? What were you surprised that you were able to do easily? What was difficult to let go of? Now, I knew more about when I did paper coach myself. I knew more about how much time I wasted. I found out more about how the first couple weeks, I didn't complete my aims. And I was kind of shocked by that. Long time ago, when I started changing my foods, I was surprised at how late I was eating. And the last one is, I believe I can. And one of the things that would be for me, when I did bodybuilding, my abs were really ripped, and they ripped quickly. I lost weight here. I love to train my back, so this is part of your back, and it affects the way your abs look. And my abs got ripped very easily. Not easily, but fast. And I'm now 57, so I've got a little more flesh here from menopause. So I believe I can get my abs ripped again. Hello. You're going to finish those questions with a lot of deep thought and reflecting and also forward looking. And our next page is a lot of forward looking. It's the jump into the future again, which we have talked about often. So when you write your jump into the future, when you answer this conversation starter, describe a day in your future. Use these 2 pages to describe a day in your life, 1 to 2 years from now or 3 years from now, okay? And even if you write, this is what I'm reading on the side, even if you want to write the same thing every time you use this conversation starter, write their future anyway, write the same thing. You'll change the story slightly. Write it as if it's happening right now. So you're writing an episode or a moment in your future. You're not writing, in the future I'm going to have this, in the future I'm going to have that, in the future you're writing a day. So you just say, I slept really well today. You can write when you woke up, or you can write, if you listen to the last video, I was telling you while I'm sitting at this cafe table in Paris, having a sip of my espresso with my hat on. You remember that one? So I was in the middle of the day, in a blip, just got into a moment in the middle of my day in the future, what I imagine for my life. And this can be about your body, your work, your partner, your friendships, whatever you want to include. It's one moment in time. You can write out one half an hour of your future. So in narrative form, in bullets, if that's easier for you. Narrative form is what I suggest. But always remember, when you journal, you get to write the way you want. I do not care about grammar, punctuation, anything proper. I care more about the story, and if you can see it, feel it, hear it, taste it, touch it. That's what I care about when you journal. And no one's going to read it. You're going to do that on your own. You've got your 7 pages of workouts. You know how those work because you've been doing this with me. The first 3 videos for the first week, 4th video, 4th week, 5th video, 5th week, and today. I do 7 days of cardio, I do 4 days of weight training, sometimes 5, and I do 2 days of yoga. And so in here, I use all 7 pages, but they all aren't written throughout. I just write what I'm doing. Either do cardio on most of all the days, and strength stretch on the bottoms, and then strength training 4 to 5 days. So if I just do a day of push-ups, that's strength training, and I write that in on the weight training part. All right, I'm long-winded. I could keep going, so I'm just gonna, you got that. We've got our logs, which I almost skipped on the last video. And these are our extra movement logs. Remember how to do those. Don't skip ahead. Go back and you'll learn how to do them, so that now I just have to tell you. That's how learning goes, okay? We've already done the nuts and the bolts and the fundamentals, and now I could just tell you. Restoration log. Expansion log. I love the expansion log so much, so much. Our meals and the end of the meals, we're always writing. This week I reduced, this week I eliminated, this week I added, and after meals I felt, which I haven't talked about much. You know, this week I reduced. It could be the same thing you reduced last week. Soda, alcohol, desserts 5 days a week. You could write, I reduced desserts to only 2 days a week, or I reduced 6 days of desserts. However you want to write that. This week I eliminated. So reduce would be I reduced it from maybe ate them 7 days a week. So reduce means I reduced it down to 6 days a week. Okay, just want to clarify. I eliminated this week. What did you stop? So it could be this. I stopped eating after 9 p.m. Could be that. This week I added a healthy, nutritious boost, which is what a snack is. I just don't use that word. I use nutritious boost. You'll learn about that in here and on those videos. After meals, I felt. So you can reflect on the days maybe when you had bread, maybe you felt gassy. Maybe you couldn't sleep well. You want to notice that so that you can see how food makes your body feel, because then you might want to reduce it or eliminate and see if it feels better. You've got to circle vitamins and minerals and herbs and spices. Why have I included these? I want you to take vitamins and minerals. I want you to supplement, especially things like where people don't get enough vitamin D, sometimes not enough B complex. Women sometimes don't get enough fat, especially if you're exercising a lot. So you could take vitamin E or a fish oil. I take a wild-caught fish oil. I also take things for my hair, take vitamins, biotin for my hair. I take sea moss in a liquid. So write that down. And herbs and spices, when we are used to fat being satiating us and salt satiating our taste buds, we have to learn. I was telling one of my clients, I was in Istanbul, and in Istanbul, they put spices on the food, and the food it makes you actually chew it slower. You actually eat in awe. You eat like this. Oh, I'm going to say, oh my God, but I'm not going to say that. I'm what is this? Oh, what is on there? What you're examining it? The tastes are out of this world because of herbs and spices, not salt. Herbs and spices. I'm not against salt. I use sea salt sometimes in my water. I use it to cook with, a pinch of sea salt. I use it. But there are so many flavors we can get from herbs and spices, which are really good. They're anti-inflammatory. They're so good for you. So experiment with that. We're moving on to our next page. For deeper exploration, I have a book list, and these are books that will help you with your aims, with staying focused and committed on this life that you are celebrating by living it to the fullest. And some of these books are The Joy of Movement, Kelly McGonigal, Dr. Kelly McGonigal. The Body Keeps the Score, really understanding how feelings affect our bodies. Bessel van der Kolk, doctor. Radiant Rest, Yoga Nidra for Deep Relaxation and Awakened Clarity by Tracy Stanley. And Yoga Nidra is a deep relaxation for your entire body, mind, heart. Deep Work, Cal Newport. The Biology of Belief, Dr. Bruce Lipton. All about what all inspiring events, places, types of activities, what they do for our body. Dacher Keltner. Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long, Happy Life, Hector Garcia. As a Man Thinketh, James Allen. The Way the Mind Works, the Motivation Manifesto. This is an old school book, not really old. In the 2000s it came out. Brendan Burchard, it's one of his best books ever. And it's written sort of like an old text. It's very spoken to you, really commanding you. Some people won't like it, but it commands you to think and wake up. Zero Limits, Joe Vitale, and Dr. Hugh Lin. Dr. Hugh Lin brought Ho'oponopono to the masses, which is something that I practice, which is a forgiveness ritual using I love you, thank you, please forgive me, and I'm sorry, in a way to forgive yourself and others and to love everything. The Desire Map, Daniel Laporte, and The Big Leap, Gay Hendricks. I've told people several times, read that book over and over again, The Big Leap. It will really wake you up, and it's short. So you're going to add your reading list here. If you've got books that you want to read to inspire you, add them here, or take some of these and then place them here. Progress points. At the end of your week, you pick 3 areas where you've made progress. Every week you should be able to make progress. You will. In fact, you'll have more than 3 areas. And if there's something that's not written there, write it in. It could be that you have a more of a desired clothing size. You have more positive self-talk. So I have to tell you that I'm recording this, and because I do all these hand gestures, there are the thing is talking to me about, do you want, it's giving me this notification about hand gestures. I'm just being myself. Leave me alone. It's asking me about hand gestures while I'm filming this right now. Oh dear, I don't need help. I'm just filming. I don't need help with hand gestures. Anyway, it's my Mac giving me suggestions about hand gestures. We're moving on. Check your 3 progress points and then write about how they've been demonstrated in your life. Where did you make progress? Write a little bit more about that there. We're there. We made it. And I wrote that. You've made it. Congratulations for remaining dedicated to yourself. You're going to revisit your measurement page. Review your 6-week meaningful feeling goals. Remember, you wrote those at the beginning of the 6 weeks, but I don't want you to do this until the end of the week. So the measurement page, you're going to remeasure yourself, and you're going to review the big 6-week, the long-term meaningful feeling goals that you wrote or circled at the beginning. You're going to review that, and then you're going to celebrate. Once you've achieved your 6-week vision, reward yourself with a happy hangout. A happy hangout is a date with your dedicated self. Others can celebrate with you if you wish. You don't have to go alone. And I put a list of ideas for your happy hangout. You want to do this every 6 to 8 weeks. Celebrate your progress. Celebrate yourself for staying dedicated. And I'll just read a few of these. A 1-hour massage, manicure or pedicure, a yoga retreat in Costa Rica, a special yoga class, a special dinner at a really good, healthy place, I would say, live theater tickets or movie tickets, shop for hobby materials, shop for a new workout outfit or a new piece of equipment like a stability ball or a hula hoop or a trampoline. That's what I use. Or new weights for home, new sneakers. So that's a happy hangout. Have fun doing this and celebrate receiving whatever you've chosen for your happy hangout. And then you can write about it. Write about how you feel at the end of the 6 weeks. Write about your happy hangout. And then, if you want, get another paper coach and start over again. And I would suggest that you start over again after the next 6 weeks. So 6 weeks to do this, 6 weeks to do it on your own, and then go back and get another paper coach and do it over again. After you've done this, I'd say once, but twice, it's going to change your life. You're going to be a different kind of person. It's going to change your life. It's almost a promise. If you do this, it's going to change your life. It's going to make you more focused on your health and your wellness. It's going to make you more committed. If you really do this, you're doing the 4 to 6 workouts per week, your body's going to change. And if you do it again, 6 weeks on your own, go back and do it 6 weeks again. When people say, what are you doing? You're not going to go, I don't know. You're going to say this, and you're going to be excited about it because they're going to see the fruits of your labor. I like to say the fruits of your effort, passionate effort, which is the good kind of effort. At the very end, you've got your daily journal, and I'm going to come back and do another video. You see all those pages in there? I'm going to come back and do another video in a week or two using the daily journal, and I'm going to pick out just a few, and we're just going to sit together and journal. I'm going to let you sit and write while I do it with you. That's week 6 of your paper coach, the wellness journal and log, jog. That's what I call it. I want you to complete your 6th week starting today. Go ahead and start your journaling. Choose your 3 meaningful feeling goals. Write out your aims for wellness, your life. Start your journaling and then start logging and tracking in all of your fitness, movement logs, and food logs, and expansion, and all of the above. Once again, I'm so glad that you came and that you stayed consistent. You didn't drop off. You didn't watch a little and forget about it. You came back. You didn't come back for me. You came back for yourself. And you really and truly matter. And it takes what you're willing to give. So you, I'm talking to you, I am proud of you. I will see you soon. I support you with all my heart. I'm Michelle Bernard. Thank you again. Post, which is still part of habit number 1. Practice the post. It means you're going to post your feeling goals and your vision. When I was training in New York, I moved to New York in 1996, and when I started to train for a bodybuilding show, which was in 2000, I trained for my first bodybuilding show. Our lockers were downstairs and at the gym at New York Health and Racket Club. If you opened my locker, you would have thought it was a guy's locker. I had magazine clippings of Monica Brandt cut out, plastered on the inside of my locker. You would have thought I was a guy. I have her same body type, and I said, I want to look like that. Do you know I looked like that when I did my bodybuilding show? I looked like Monica Brandt. I looked at it every day. Time flies when the goals dry up. And I have to say that I never, ever, ever looked muscular or fit before in my life. I never looked like that. I visualized myself looking like that. I trained to look like that. I journaled to look like that. I focused on looking like that. My meaningful goals were to look like that. I looked at it every day, and then I looked like that when I did my bodybuilding show. It's phenomenal. It's amazing, actually. Shine, try,